You're listening to the WTIM Morning Show, heard live online at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. Just this morning in the studio, Michael St. Louis, and on the phone, Laura Mitchell. They're both with Hope House of Central Illinois. Welcome to the program, Michael.
Thank you for having us.
And welcome to the program, Laura. How are you this morning?
Hello, I'm great. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, it's great to have you. So let's start off with you, Michael. What is Hope House?
Hope House of Central Illinois is an organization that was founded a handful of years ago to support and help families that had children that had passed away. Within a 100-mile radius of Taylorville, Illinois, we found that 600 kids were dying every year. And as a family that had lost a child, and there was, two other founding families that had lost children, what we found is the object, in order to comfort and support one another, we just wanted to get away. And as much as we have friends and family in this community that loved us, every time you turn around, somebody would give you their condolences, and that actually became problematic. So we determined that we were going to try to find a location and a place to put a cabin up so that the three families could just get away. And through studies and just looking at statistics at the state level, we found that that's when there was 600 families that needed this support or could potentially need the support. We started looking at the Smokies, and it would be too hard to do maintenance and try to maintain the building and be organized about it. And then we looked in Missouri, and lo and behold, we determined right here in beautiful Taylorville would be a great place and location to, put up a building and create a retreat area for families that may need it. So,
and can I ask you, Michael, what inspired this project? That I understand, it's a need, but what made you realize that this is something that needs to be addressed?
Okay, so my wife and I, we lost twins at a very young age, 8 days and 5 days. 8 days and 3 days. Don't feel sorry for me. It was the best 8 days of my life. And then we had two other couples that were dear friends of ours, and they both had lost children. And it was inspired because we wanted to just get away. And when we realized that there was so many more people that could possibly want to get away, then that's when we determined that, hey, let's do something for everyone. Because 600 children die every year. That's a lot. And that's very troubling. It's hard on families. And so we just wanted to be a positive instead of be a negative. And we want our children's deaths not to bring us down, but to build us up and make our community better. Because Taylorville is an amazing community. I brag about it all the time when I talk to my family. And it's a great place to live, as the saying goes. And we just want to make it better. So,
how do you characterize the feeling you get knowing that you're able to make a difference to something so that is so important to you personally? Okay.
I guess for me to characterize it is just to tell a short story. Anybody that knows me knows I'm windy, but when my children died, all I wanted was a hug from another man that I knew that had lost a child, because they understood. And I knew that he knew what I was going through. And that made all the world of difference, just having somebody that understood. And so being a father that had lost children, I just want to be able to help somebody in that same situation. We call it the muck and the mire. Dealing with grief, we all deal with it differently, but it's like you have to traverse this swamp. And whether you like it or not, you have to go through it. You can't cheat your way through it. You can't shortchange it. You have to walk through this swamp of grief. And it's a lot easier when somebody that's been through that swamp goes along with you and says, hey, there's a breaking point up here, just a few more steps and you've got this. And that's what we want to be, is an encouragement to those families that that have lost a loved one. So
very inspiring. Now, Laura, I'll shift over to you. You have an important event coming up. Talk a little bit about that.
Sure. Before I get into that, I'll kind of back up a little bit and explain how this event came to be. So back in 2016, the founding members of Hope House, who came before me, began a campaign to fundraise. They found land and they were able to purchase it. More fundraising, and they were able to start clearing land and putting a lane in, more fundraising, and they're pouring a foundation. And what else did we do? We capped it off. We put a porch up, and then this summer, or I guess this late summer, early fall, we finally have a structure and a roof, and it actually is now beginning to look like a home. So we're not finished yet, but we've come such a long way that we'd like to share not only with the people who have made it possible, but also with people who might not know about us, so they can come and see what's been going on and what Hope House is all about. So we're having an open house where people can come out and take a tour of the property as it is so far, and hear about our vision, what to expect when it's finished and where we're going with it. And then we'll have some, refreshments and people around that can give you whatever information you might need. So that is this Sunday, the 7th, and it's from 2 to 4 p.m. in the afternoon. The address of the property is 1071 North, 1150 East Road. It's just off of the Nokomis Blacktop, and there'll be butterflies kind of along the route, so you can find your way fairly easily. It's not far off of Route 48, but it is to the east, if that helps. No, I'm sorry, to the west. Sorry about that. You can also find our address on our website, which is hopehouseofcentralillinois.org. That's all spelled out, hopehouseofcentralillinois.org.
And Laura, I understand you are treasurer and a board member. What made you want to participate in Hope House?
Well, I know Michael and his wife Teresa personally, and I've gotten to know them and their story, and we were touched by what they've been doing with Hope House, and of course the idea behind it, and how it all came about. We know some of the other couples that were with Michael and Teresa when they came up with this idea. So when they were in need for someone to take over, I had the expertise to do it, and I believed in the vision. And they were at this important part of the process where they were going to be able to start building. And I thought, what better time to be involved with this organization than to be able to help with that. So I'm excited to be a part of what's happened and what's coming up.
And how does it make you feel knowing that you are making a difference in a foundation such as this?
Oh, it feels good. I mean, we all we want to do things to help other people, and there's a good behind that. But of course, selfishly, it makes you feel good too when you're doing something that's going to help one person or 100 people. It's a good feeling, and so why wouldn't you want to do that? But of course, I mean, I haven't experienced the loss that Michael and these other people have. But if I can be a part of providing comfort to someone who has, I mean, why would I not?
You're listening to the WTIM morning show, heard live on 96.1 FM in Christian County and 107.5 FM in Shelby County. More on the WTIM morning show here in just a moment after this break. You're on WTIM, your information station.
The Miller Media Radio Group stations in Taylorville have an immediate opening for a full-time administrative assistant. Duties include, but not limited to, answering phones, greeting and directing people that come into the stations, scheduling on-air guests, and clerical work both on paper and online. Starting pay is $13 per hour for 40 hours per week. Please submit a resume via email to Cami Payne, General Manager at camip@randyradio.com. That's KAMIP@randyradio.com. Only email resumes will be accepted. No Facebook applications accepted. No phone calls. Equal opportunity employer.
Memorial Health System is delivering safe access to our emergency services every day. If you suddenly feel seriously ill or experiencing symptoms of a stroke or heart attack, don't wait. Our on-site team of doctors and specialists are equipped to provide seamless care when seconds matter. Never delay emergency care. Memorial is ready and safe. It's time to go. Ready, safe, go. See all the ways we're keeping you safe at safewithmemorial.com.
WTIM on its many platforms, AM, FM, and online, brings you Taylorville Tornado football, boys and girls basketball all season long, and playoff games of all teams. Tornado sports on WTIM and streamed live on TaylorvilleDailyNews.com are brought to you by Blakely Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Taylorville Vision Source, and the senior citizens of Christian County, all in Taylorville.
The purple and gold are coming your way. The Taylorville Tornadoes are gonna do it today.
If you're craving that pumpkin spice flavor this time of year, your farmer-owned dairy, Prairie Farms Dairy, has just the ticket. Right now, you'll find Prairie Farms Dairy pumpkin spice flavored milk that provides the protein you and your family needs. And oh, does it taste good! As the leaves fall and the seasons change, enjoy Prairie Farms Dairy pumpkin spice flavored milk, available in your grocer or convenience store's dairy case. Another protein-packed product from the farm families of Prairie Farms Dairy.
Cropland Seed is celebrating 25 seasons of gratitude, and our appreciation keeps growing. Every season has been a learning opportunity. So what have we discovered over the last 25 years? Just how grateful we are for the growers who trust their seasons to Cropland Seed. Putting your trust in our innovation and performance can help make your harvest a success. Talk to your Winfield United retailer today or learn more at cropland.com.
C&B Bank and Trust is helping to open doors for your wealth. Schedule your appointment with Victor Henson by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. Not FDIC insured, no bank guarantee, may lose value.
Hi, I'm Bob Raddings of the Bob Raddings family of dealerships. See our huge inventory of about 2,000 vehicles by clicking on our ad at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Welcome back to the WTIM Morning Show, heard live on the Big 870 across Central Illinois and streamed on the TaylorvilleDailyNews.com Facebook page. Your guest this morning, we have in the studio Michael St. Louis and on the phone Laura Mitchell with Hope House of Central Illinois, and talking about an open house that they have here and all the great next steps for a wonderful foundation. Now, Michael, you are very heavily involved with Hope House, and I wanted to ask you, what are the next steps for the organization?
Next steps for the organization is to complete the construction of the house. To date, we've got a structure up. We've got shingles on the roof. We are waiting for windows to be delivered. Because of COVID and delivery times go from 4 weeks to 16 weeks. But as you know, what we're doing is we're building as we have the money. And so the next step for us really, we're going to get it winterized. It'll be taken care of before winter, but we need to continue to see about getting electricity and power run back to the building. And then once the building is undercover and secure with doors and windows and whatnot, then we can start the process of wiring it, running heating and cooling, taking care of plumbing, things along that line, the interior portions of the building itself. So,
and Laura, what plans do this Hope House have to raise the rest of the funds needed to complete the retreat?
Well, the open house that we're having on Sunday is going to serve as sort of a kickoff to a new fundraising campaign. Obviously, the open house is meant to invite all of the people who have already given either time or talents to see what their efforts have allowed us to make happen so far, but also to invite the community so they can see what we're doing, and maybe they might be willing to join in that fundraising campaign. We'll have events throughout the year. We'll appeal to people in the community as we can. But our next event, which is actually a fundraising event, this open house is not a fundraising event, it's just an introduction to the community. The bowling event, though, is going to be held well, Michael, I'm going to defer to you on the details, but I'll also say that you can find us on Facebook. It's Hope House of Central Illinois. We have an event page for this open house. So you'll have better directions than what I just gave you. And it'll have an event page for this bowling event that's coming up. That's going to be a family friendly. It should be a super fun afternoon, a few hours away with your family, have some fun, and help us raise some funds so we can get this house finished. Michael, I don't have handy the details on the bowling event. Do you know the time?
Yes, the time is going to be from 3 to 5. Registration at 2:00. All this week, we're going to be doing pre-registrations to help know what numbers we're going to have. And that's going to be on the 13th of November. It's a beautiful Saturday. It's great because it's good for young, it's good for old. If you're a professional bowler or just a weekend roller, it'll be fun, and that's the object of it. We're going to have basket raffles, and we'll have prizes for people, and we'll have mystery prizes, and so it's something I think that we're all going to have fun with, and we can look forward to, and also it'll help spread the word of Hope House and what we're here for and why we're here. So,
diverting back to this. Oh, go ahead, Laura.
I wanted to mention it's going to be at the Old Bowl, right, Michael?
It's going to be at the Old Bowl?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And now shifting back to this open house you have, it's coming up Sunday, right? Right.
Yes,
okay.
This Sunday, 2 to 4.
Yeah. What do you think? And I'll start with Michael. What can you say that will happen at this that will make you think this was exactly what I hope for? What will you think will say this is a success in everything that I was hoping for?
What would I consider a success for this weekend? Honestly, what I would use to gauge a success is not donations or anything like that. But I think what it would be is I think all those people that have invested in us for years and have believed in this program for years, them coming out and just being impressed by the fact that it looks like it is a house. There's no other way around it, and you can see your family in it. And when those people walk away going, I think this was a great investment, I want to continue to do this and support this cause, I think that to me would be considered a success, genuinely.
Laura, do you have any extra thoughts with that?
No, I would have answered it pretty much the same. Obviously what we really want is for people who have, spent their time and money is to come out and really see it. Pictures, tell a story, but when you get to the property, and it's beautiful. I mean, it is in the most beautiful setting. And when you get there and you step inside that house, you can see it. You can imagine what it's going to be like, and you just know that this is going to be a refuge for people who really need it. And that's what we want, is for people to really come and be able to experience it. Not only the people who had a part in it, but people who might want to have a part in the second half of it.
Got to go here in about a minute. Michael, your final thoughts in about 30 seconds.
My final thoughts. I just want to thank the Taylorville community for all the love and support that they've given myself and my wife since we've moved here. We've lived here for 25 years, and they're great friends, and I consider this community my home and family. And I just look forward to being able to share my community with others in the future through Hope House. And I really hope that we can get 300 people to partner with us. And if they would donate 1 hour's worth of their wages a week for just a year, the entire project would be paid for, funded, and we would be up and running. So,
Laura, your final thoughts here, briefly.
Final thoughts are come out. If you've never heard about Hope House and this is intriguing you even a tiny bit, come out and see what it's about.
All right. Thank you, Laura, for joining us on the phone. And thank you to Michael for coming in, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
You're listening to the WTIM Morning Show on 107.9 FM in the Paine and Nokomis area.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville, 96.1 W241 CF Taylorville, 107.5 W298 CD Shelbyville, 107.9 W300 EH Paine and Nokomis.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Celebrating in Virginia. Backers of Republican Glenn Youngkin cheering their man's victory over Democrat Terry McAuliffe in the Virginia governor's race. Youngkin vowing to change the trajectory of the Commonwealth.
We are going to start that transformation on day one.
The next Virginia Attorney General and the Lieutenant Governor, also Republicans. In a setback for the defund the police movement, Minneapolis residents rejecting a ballot measure would have overhauled the city's police department.
The ballot question failed, with 57% of Minneapolis voters voting against it. Question 2 would have dissolved Minneapolis's current police department by revising the city's charter to establish a new Department of Public Safety. The new entity would have employed a, quote, comprehensive public health approach to safety, replacing the city's police chief with a commissioner nominated by the mayor and appointed by the Minneapolis City Council. Police officers themselves would not have been completely done away with, but non-police first responders would be introduced to deal with substance abuse emergencies, mental health crises, and other nonviolent situations. Bernie Bennett reporting.
No winner yet in the New Jersey governor's race. Too close to call. The vote count goes on. John Deere workers rejecting a contract offer that, among other things, included a 10% pay hike.
The vote means workers will remain on strike in the hopes of securing a better deal. The raises in the latest agreement were twice as big as the ones in the original offer United Auto Workers Union members rejected last month. However, the latest raises and improved benefits weren't enough to end the strike that began on October 14.
That's correspondent Jeremy House. On Wall Street, stocks narrowly mixed. Right now, the Dow down about 81 points, while the NASDAQ is 1 point higher. The S&P 500 index, 3 points in the red. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Why are cash out refinances such a big deal right now? Uncle Ryan tries to teach me something.
I really feel like right now might be a once in a lifetime opportunity. I've been doing this for 18 years now, and I've just never seen a market where the rates are so low and values across the country have skyrocketed as much as they have. That combination, I remember one couple in particular, they were looking to do some home improvements at the house, but they were worried about their payments going up. Well, with rates being so low and them building up so much equity in the home over the last few years, we were able to get them the cash out for those home improvements, and their payments actually went down a little bit. Every single situation is different, but it does happen more often than you think. So it definitely does not hurt to call.
We are United Faith Mortgage.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Middle Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage banker. For all licensing information, go to nmlsconsumeraccess.org. Corporate NMLS number 1330. Equal housing lender. License in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, Massachusetts, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
A Dutch court has ruled a small snack bar in the south of the country can keep its name, rejecting a lawsuit brought by the American fast food giant Wendy's.
It's a legal battle that's been going on for more than 20 years. A small Dutch snack bar named after the owner's daughter versus an international corporation. The American chain Wendy's says the snack bar's brand is invalid because it only has one shop, and its minimal advertising means there's no genuine trademark. But the court ruled that even minor use of the brand was sufficient to qualify for the trademark in Belgium, the Netherlands and Luxembourg. It's a major blow for the American chain, which operates more than 6,500 restaurants worldwide and hopes to open branches across the 3 countries.
That's the BBC's Olivia Noon. The number of coronavirus cases has risen in Europe for the 5th consecutive week, making it the only world region where COVID-19 is still on the increase. News and analysis at townhall.com. The National Transportation Safety Board's determined the cause of a deadly plane crash in Alaska.
The board says the braking system on a plane that overran a runway at an airport in 2019 was compromised by anti-skid sensors that were not correctly wired. Investigators say the incorrect wiring likely occurred during an overhaul in January of 2017, but it was not discovered until after the accident. NTSB says the plane, pilot, weather, and federal oversight all had a role in the incident that left one person dead. Jason Walker reporting.
The party went on into the early hours of the morning in Atlanta, celebrating the Braves World Series victory. Atlanta shut out the Astros 7-0 in Game 6, the Braves' first World Series championship since 1995. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hi, this is Jared White, host of Central Illinois Outdoors, inviting you to find us on the internet. We are up and running at centralillinoisoutdoors.com. You can jump on there to find our Catch of the Week segment.